Okay. Do you see the button? Now we're live.
Woo!
Hey,
Live with
everybody.
Lisa Copeland.
Okay, so as I have been snowed in for 2 days, oh my God. And every time I talk to you, which has been like 25 times the last 2 days.
Oh, I'm so glad that you've been snowed in because
know.
it's the most I've spoken to you in probably a year.
Oh, stop it.
So I'm happy about the fake snow.
Okay, that right there is an entire conversation because my son sent me a text and said, you're looking at it on chat and it's being not monitored, assigned. He's like, go to Grok and see what Grok says about the snow, and it's going to be a
Can
different
we tell
answer.
people who don't know about the snow? So if you are in an area with snow, I thought this was an Instagram hoax, conspiracy. They go outside and you grab a snowball and bring it in or in your garage or wherever and try to set it on fire to see if it melts. The conclusion from Lisa, when I had her do this experiment,
And
is
send
that
her the video.
burns. It burns. It turns black, but it does not melt. So how does ice not melt? Well, Chat GPT has an explanation for this that you are supposed to believe. But I think it's a little crazy, and I think we have genetically modified weather going on here.
I am telling y'all, if the people that are listening to this today were on any of our conversations, there's a couple things they would do. They would probably leave planet Earth because they'd be like, this is bad. This is really bad. Like some of the lines that we can go down in our conspiracy minds.
I know that's why you called me in here today.
Huh?
But I said, I know that's not why we're here today.
We're supposed to talk about real estate.
However, you know, crazy stuff is going on, and it allowed me to speak with you today. So
I know, I love that.
There is an upside to the silver iodine induced snow or whatever they put with it.
It's something. It's something. Yeah, I mean, I've been reading stuff all over this loaded with vaccine, like all kinds of stuff. Anyways, don't even need to go down that road. I have not been out in the snow, and I'm not going to eat the snow. Okay, so today it's January of 2026, and I was trying to remember before we got on here today, when did you and I start doing this deal together?
We did this deal in 2021.
Yeah.
We did this. I joined our real estate brokerage around March of 2021.
Because it was GrowthCon.
It was GrowthCon. I had 3 weeks that led up to it. I had to pass this exam or Lisa was going to, kick my butt. Couldn't let her down, couldn't let myself down. So I remember I checked into a hotel. I had my family's permission to go away and really study. I had their support, which was amazing. And, lo and behold, I passed that test. I started crying when they told me I passed. It was that intense, but we pulled it off and we've made a great go of it ever since.
Okay. So you and I have been doing it in March, 5 years. And then I've been with EXP almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in June.
Wow.
I know. It just seems like forever though, doesn't it? And I still remember when you called me after Grant had spoken to Glenn Sanford and you called me and you're like, you need to give me the name of the real estate school. And I was like, yes, I got the better half of this deal.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
I know. Trust me. I have no doubt about it. No, absolutely. Grant is wonderful. We love him, but this has been a lot more fun to do with you. And it was never even a consideration for him. But in my mind, when I had approached him, and it was like, he's the biggest real estate guru on the planet. Why in the heck would he not go and want to build out a team?
Right.
And it was just by the luck of God that you were in the car when Glenn and Grant were having that top secret conversation.
Right.
And I'll let you tell that piece to the story, because I'm telling you, that was such a, still, I'm like, thank you, God.
Well, it was just an interesting story because I saw Grant being excited, speaking to Glenn about putting his content and having it available for all real estate agents within the brokerage. But Glenn was a little stymied about how it was going to work because Grant isn't a realtor, isn't with the company. And so I volunteered behind the scenes to Grant, do you want me to get the real estate license? He put the idea to Glenn Sanford, who was like, yes, that would be fantastic. And so it really got me, not in that moment excited, because in that moment I was only doing that to help Grant and Glenn, and I was just being good wife role in that moment. But what got me really excited was in 2020, when everyone was starting to panic, I really had this idea. I would really have loved to have been the woman behind the other women, not to exclude my guys, but I really wanted to help them build empires and, kind of, help any woman out there who was maybe worried to build their little empire. But I couldn't figure it out in 2020 what that vehicle would be.
And so there's a couple of vehicles that you went down, like, was it one of them? Like, didn't you have a friend who owned a skincare company or a?
Yeah, I was like thinking, I don't know, I forget the names of the other brands, but I looked at 2 other companies and I was like, no, this isn't going to work. I mean, it has to work with what we're already doing. I'm not just going to, do something just for this little idea that I had, It has to, Grant talks about that. Like if you're going to go get some second form of income, make sure it goes hand in glove with the first thing so it can dovetail and work together.
Yes.
So when this opportunity presented itself and I was in the process of getting the real estate license, I spoke with you and you were like, oh, there's this rev share. And it really kind of made me understand, whoa, this is the opportunity I was looking for, to be this woman behind the others and really help and put some foundation and some structure and some inspiration and go out and have this opportunity to have this wonderful group join us. And now, we have such spectacular men and women in the group. It's really cool that, the guys in our organization are so beneficial that they've opened my eyes to like, wow, why was I even excluding them from the get-go? Because they're so helpful. They're so amazing. They're so
We're also number one, Josh Berman and Tony Glenn. Josh is number one in the org and Tony Glenn is number 2. So the boys are leading the pack this year or last year.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I reached out to both of them. I forgot to tell you that. I reached out to Josh Berman to congratulate him. And I'm going to set up a call for the 3 of us. And then Tony Glenn and I went back and forth over the last couple of days. And like these guys, Elena, like 2025 was a tough year. Just end of story. They each did over $65 million in transactions.
Wow.
Josh did it out of Medford, Oregon. And I'm going to give Tony not as, a little bit because, he's in San Diego, California. So, but anyways, it's unbelievable. And, and then Tony, of course, leads Cardone Veterans. And he's just such a stellar human, stellar leader.
Oh, yes.
And Josh told me when I reached out to congratulate him, he said, well, Lisa, I'm going to do 100 million this year. I'm like, God bless. Like, that's unbelievable. Right?
What a rock star. Yeah. Love that. I mean, really phenomenal.
But it's the mindset. Like, and so I immediately and I think I called you and told you when I talked to Josh Berman, he's like, Lisa, I'm like 65 million, dude. Like, how did you do that? You're in Oregon. He's like, literally, he didn't try to go la, 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 la. He goes, I'm going to do 100 million in 2026. Like, that was his answer to me. I'm like, I love this guy. Like, there's just nothing about him that is just not like my kind of mindset person. And then, Tony Glenn he's just such a legend, and what he's built with Cardone vets, with military spouses. You and I have committed to meet him somewhere in the USA this year to support him on one of his big events he does on these.
Yeah, his military events. I think it's so important to help our vets and their spouses. This is such an ideal scene for the spouses, especially that have to move. Because our organization is in all 50 states plus globally. So it's not like they would have to leave or trade or, they can work from home. It's just an ideal scene for the military spouses, this organization.
I just think about the people that that have stuck and stayed, and like the Hosses, the Claudians, Roe. God, I'm gonna get in trouble if I start naming people. Daphne.
Yeah, that's right. I just thought of a few more.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, right? So many that we love so much, and that have just become like family, right? Because we've all been doing this.
For sure.
And there have been tough days, and 2025 was tough. And I get people ask me all the time. They're like, okay, Elena Cardone. And I'm not spilling any tea here when I say, like, you and Grant are billionaires, and people are like, why would she even mess with this? So I always have my standard answer, but I'd love for
What is your standard answer? Do you still get that?
all the time.
No.
And I tell people, because I believe that you're one of the most purpose-driven people. Like, it gets to the point at some point, I mean, the money's great, but I believe that your purpose has far reached or outgrown, like your purpose is higher, right? Because I know you so well. And, I know that your purpose is, to protect families and children, and, protect the earth, and do good and right by people. And this is your way of kind of giving back and showing people how to build their own empire. You have an empire. Like, let's be real. You've got a nice empire. But this is the way that you're able to lead and to mentor and to teach other people how to do what you and Grant have done. It's a different path, but it's industry. It's real estate. It's just a different path the way you guys did it. I mean, Grant I don't think we're going to teach people how to go crowdfund and become a billionaire. That's probably not going to happen. But what we can teach them is the 10X mindset. We can teach them how to grow. We can teach them how to build an organization. We can
teach them leadership, financial legacy.
Yep.
We can teach them about equity, having the importance of having equity in a company,
right?
Ownership. So I think we can definitely do more, but I am really proud of the work that we've already done. You're doing your Lioness group every single week. I've built a kit, a starter kit. I have a concierge full on service to onboard and educate. And
you love Sean. Sean's been with us 3 years.
I mean, 3 years he's been with us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is incredible. And here's the best part. When this market starts to shake a little bit and start to loosen up, and I do believe that is going to occur soon, it's going to be like the ones that really had to work and figure this out and make communication and reach out to people and follow up. Their skills have been sharpened. Yes. So they're going to be the leaders of the pack who stuck and stayed. And so I'm excited to see the heyday that's about to come.
Because when you and I got in within a year of each other into real estate, and it was easy then. Like, let's just be real. You guys put it out there, put a 1, do whatever you're going to do in the comments. But it was easy when we got in. I mean, it was nuts. The market was nuts. Everybody was either moving to Texas or Florida. That was the only place on planet Earth to live. And so we did really, really well. And where we saw, and then when things tightened up, pandemic's over, interest rates go up, raise, all of it, right? Everything that happened, we saw this incredible shift in the market, like, on shift. Oh, look at Tony Glenn just joined. Tony, I don't know if your ears were burning or not, but we were bragging about you and how amazing you are and what a great leader you are and how you did over $60 million in production. Now you were number 2. So I'm telling you, Josh was number 1, and Josh says he's going to do 100 million in 2026. So you might want to go 101. I don't know. Just saying. And we also had to admit that it's 2 boys that lead our pack right now.
I know.
5.
I'm not complaining though. Girls, we got to step it up.
We got to too. Great people to work with. Oh yeah, we love Tony Glenn. He's just amazing. And Tony, if you'll put in there for veterans how they can get a hold of you, if you'll put that in the comments. I already had a couple people send me messages when I posted about you yesterday, how to work with you. So if you'll do that, that would be awesome. Okay, so Elena, we went out hard. You were all in, and you've always been all in. And that's the other thing people ask me all the time. You know that you're such a hot topic. If I'm in the room, people want to know about you and all that. And they're like, okay, so is she really in, or does she just like put her name on this thing? I'm like, no, she's in. There has never been, I can't ever remember even one time in 5 years that I've ever called you and said, hey, I need this, or can you get on a call, or can we do this, or can you come to Texas, or I'll come to Florida. And you've come to Texas several times.
Yeah.
In fact, you're coming back to Texas next week, but for a different reason. You're always like, yes, like your answer is always yes. And so,
For sure.
right.
For sure. You know, yeah, that's so interesting that people ask that, though. That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, like all the time. People are just so kind of fascinated by the whole thing. And, but anybody who follows you guys, I mean, look at Grant. I mean, you can't turn on your social media on a weekend and he's not teaching another class. And it's nothing he has to do for himself, for you guys. He's doing it to make sure that he brings all the people that have followed him and been so loyal to him for so many years along with, right? To make sure they understand, to make sure they know how to invest in real estate, right? To make sure it would just be so easy for you guys to roll off onto an island somewhere.
Totally. He was actually re-looking at visiting an island that we were looking at purchasing a few years ago.
Oh,
that's funny that you say being on an island somewhere. I'm like, no, this is such a dumb idea. No, we're not doing
know that it's a dumb idea, but I'm thinking I need to go back to my search for the ranch in Texas, the off the grid, own water source, the whole thing.
But no, I do get your point. It would be, there are days when you think, you know what, that would be a lot easier, but that would also drive us both insane because we would have a big failed purpose. Because you said it earlier, the purpose that Grant and I have is so much bigger than just the day to day. These are all just vehicles to help more people find their way, to be able to help their families, their community, to do better, to make a difference. That's what I'm in the big race of doing with the rest of my life, So I feel like this is one area where those people, it's niche, it's real estate, but at least I can help a large group of people because there's a lot of realtors in this country and globally. So I feel like this is a great opportunity to help those. And then, hey, the original goal was to get our group so successful that they had surplus of cash that then they could invest into Cardone Capital. We could multiply it while they're working. We're multiplying and adding and scaling and doing the same rinse and repeat cycle that Grant and I have done that's made us so successful. So eventually people can switch over from living off of earned income to living off of cash flow income and investing all earned income either back into the business or back into an asset like Cardone Capital.
Right, exactly. Like there's nothing you guys don't do that there's not a plan, right?
Yeah.
That there isn't an outcome to.
Right.
So talk about I remember when you called me, we were building like crazy. Agents were coming on like crazy at that point. That was 2021. And you got your first rev share check from EXP. How much was it? And like, you couldn't believe it.
Well, it was $600. I had only been in EXP for maybe 3 weeks. I get my first check. I never sold a house yet. That wouldn't come till way later. So the proof of concept was like, are you kidding me? I didn't do anything. This came from people that trusted me, our organization, this real estate brokerage that did deals that I got a piece of because of that. And it just blew my mind. I said, if I can make $600, the person that was struggling or is struggling, like I have been growing up my whole childhood or many times as an adult, $600. I remember $200, an extra $100 that actually made a big difference. It like saved me until the next thing that they could pull me through. So $600 was like, it was a big amount that can really help families that are struggling. And it seemed very easy to do. So yeah, I was sold at that moment. I was like, is this real? How can this be? I was like, okay, I'm in. This thing works.
It does work, guys.
It works.
It works. And it does matter who you're affiliated with, and it does matter who you line up with. And I'll tell you, that was one of the things that Elena and I, I've learned so much from her. If you guys follow me, you know I'm writing a new book, and it's written. We're just going through final edits. And one of the things I talk about in the book are the people that I've learned so much from. And, you know, I could talk about a million things I've learned from working with Elena, but the one that really sticks with me is your future self. And I write it in the book, and I've got to send it to Elena for edits because I want to make sure I put it out there correctly. I think I did, but it's about who's your future self and how are you going to walk into it now? Like, you know, if I stay stuck where I am today and I always walk as that person, I'm never going to go any further than where I am today. And when you start living your future self, so if you're a realtor and you're out there and you're like, okay, my future self, like I only did $1 million, not me, I didn't just do $1 million, but this is a realtor talking, you know, I only did $1 million in 2025, but my future self wants to be Tony Glenn, who does $60 million a year, stud, 62 million, it's a lot, whatever it is. It's over 60 million, I can tell you that for a fact. You know, I want to be Tony Glenn someday. I want to be a $60 million a year realtor. That means you have to start acting like a $60 million. You have to be doing the same successful actions every single day that Tony Glenn does.
That's
But
right.
I promise you, he wakes up every morning with a list, a purpose, a schedule. You know, he's former military, so I know that he's, well, and I know him. We know him very well.
He's disciplined and dedicated.
Very disciplined, right? He's very disciplined. And so you have to walk out. You have to become that person today that you want to be a year from now or 2 years from now. Now, you know, going from $1 million a year to 60 million a year is not going to happen in 12 months. It's not. Okay. But it could happen in 5 years. It could happen in 4 years. But what are you going to do? Are you going to surround yourself with people? And that's why I post our team stats every month. I want the world to see what we do. And everyone's like, oh, aren't you afraid that someone's going to pick them off or call them? Yeah, I'm not afraid of it. Of course it's going to happen. I look at people's stats and I call them about joining our team. I'm not afraid of that because I think that we're so solid in what we do, but I want to show the rest of the real estate industry what's possible. I want to show our teams what's possible. So then when somebody's calling me going, we can't sell real estate right now, it's 2025 and the headlines say it's bad. I'm like, really? Why don't we go back to our top 30 list from last month and let me show you what Daphne did and Hallie did and Ro did and Claudia-Ann did and Tony did, like,
and Christina did, and
Christina did, like, right. Again, we're gonna get in trouble naming names.
I know.
All of our producers that just stick their heads down and they just work. There are no excuses for winners. Winners always win.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
They use problems as opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And they figure out how to do what nobody else is doing, and they take advantage of that to set themselves apart from that.
Yeah. And so, you know, we're looking to, you know, build our team up again this year. We're looking to really expand because Elena and I talked about that. You know, that's always been a successful action of ours, is to go build a big team and support the team.
Yeah.
It's the most successful thing that you and I have ever done.
I think so too. And not only that, you know, refocusing back on work. Work is the basis of morale. It feels good to be producing. And with all the noise that goes on in the world all the time, from the snow to the wars to the taking over this to the fighting to the shootings to the, you know, it's a lot. And sometimes to repurpose, get a group together, align for a greater purpose of creating family generational wealth, you know, can help cut out that noise. When you get so busy on your purpose and with your list and your follow-up and your, you know, the trying to take care of your family, and like, you don't have time to let the outside negativity affect you because you're so busy with your to-do list to connect that picture from your future self to where you are now. The bridge that connects who you are now to your future self is the doingness and the actions. Who do you need to know? Who do you need to meet? What do you need to learn? What market do you need to study? How do you send out newsletters that keep you on top of mind? all of this is the stuff and the techniques and the tools, just scraping the top of it, but that help you get to where you want to go. And that's why, another reason why I think it's just so beneficial. It's like, there's a lot of noise out there right now. Let's do the successful action of blocking that out and hitting and making our families and our communities a priority.
Yeah, and it can be done. And there is a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of brokerages out there, but it isn't about what brokerage you work for. We love EXP. They've been great to us. So there'd be no reason to ever leave that. But it isn't the brokerage that people join. It's the leadership. It's the people. It's me. It's Elena. It's Haas. It's Tony. It's Claudiane. It's Ro, like the people that lead this organization, and the people that you have access to. Mm-hmm. That's what you join. You join the people. The engine's great. The engine works. It doesn't break. It never has to go to the shop. That's the good news. We love our CEO, Leo, who flew to Miami to interview you for his podcast a couple of weeks ago.
That was great. I can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah. And Leo, he's just like, we love Leo as a CEO. He's the best thing that ever happened to EXP because he's a sales guy.
Yeah.
He's a sales guy. He spent 25 years as a realtor in the field. So he knows what we're up against. And what I tell agents when I bring them on, I'm like, guys, I'm still in the field. So I know what you're up against. I have to deal with it too every day. So I'm constantly problem solving. I'm constantly trying to figure out what's the best way. What's the workaround? How are we going to win? How are we going to compete? How are we going to go in and take a market? How are we going to go in and write all of it? AI, we've just mastered AI. I've brought in some really high level consultants on the AI side. And it's how do I want to say this? Like, it doesn't matter. The engine doesn't matter. The company doesn't matter. Again, not a diss at all to EXP. Great engine, but it's who are you working with, and can you get behind how they lead? And everything we use, guys, is 10x. And I won't apologize for that. I used it in the car business. So that's how I met Grant, is when I was a car dealer, and we used, I used his training stuff then. I'm like, this stuff is brilliant because it's a no excuse mentality, which is how I'm wired. So I love it. Absolutely love it. And it works probably even better in real estate. And that's because Grant's a real estate guy. And then, we incorporated in immediately all of the Build an Empire stuff. I mean, immediately when you came on board, because like, what are we all here to do? I mean,
exactly.
If you're getting up every day and you're going and working for your family, you may as well make the most out of it. You may as well be the best you can be. Right. I mean, when I tell you, and I know you are too, I'm on webinars all the time. Like, I'm always learning something new because you can't stop. You cannot stop. You cannot stop learning, because the day you stop learning, you're dead. You're dead in business, at least, because this machine's moving so fast. And, but I think that that's what keeps us young too. And then, of course, we've got this launch that we're doing of Cardone Mortgage, and we're, that's going to happen. We've worked on it before, but now we have a couple of really key players, and we're looking for some really key mortgage people, around the country. Texas, Florida, California, Arizona, or that are licensed in those states, Cardone Mortgage. And just wait to see. Elena's coming to town next week. She's keynoting at the Governor's Conference for Women, Governor of Texas, that is. So I'm going to be with her for 3 days. Super excited. And so, of course, I've got the whole new rollout for her to present that and get her sign off on it. But it's super exciting. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, guys, right now that we need really good people. We have lots of really good people, but we need more. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
So we're looking for realtors that want to like do the work, become even more successful, join the family. And then we're also looking for mortgage brokers. Yeah.
Mortgage people but I mean, and you'll need to join us. And join, but I can tell you firsthand what it is to be able to leverage the Cardone name, right? Like, it's all about leverage. It's all about leverage. Tony, it does not hurt that he's the head of Cardone Veterans, right? It does not hurt. Now, he still works his butt off. He's got all the credibility. He's a closer, all the above. But it's all about leverage. And so we're going to give you some tools to be able to leverage in the market that is different than just saying, oh, hi, I'm EXP, or I'm Keller Williams, or I'm Coldwell Banker, or whatever. And any of them, doesn't matter. Right? I mean, we are the leading authorities when it comes to real estate, building empires, building generational wealth, all of the above. And so if you guys are out there and you're just like noodling it, you real estate people, if you've got some good mortgage people that are just kind of out there floundering, definitely want to talk to them.
How do they reach you? Like if they're listening to this and they're like, yeah, I know some people, or I'm interested in learning more. What do we send them?
Up. Elena, you're so good. This is what she does for a living, right? They sell stuff online. So how do you reach? Okay, I'm putting a banner up with my email on it. Mortgage or real estate. Add banner. Why is it not adding? Oh, show. There we go. So if you look up on the screen, that is my email address, lisa@lisacopeland.com. So this is cool because it'll stay on the screen. So when people read
I love it. Mm-hmm.
Send me an email. And why did it go away? Show. Okay. Yeah. Send me an email, lisa@lisacopeland.com. Like I said, I mean, we're ready to kind of take on the empire again in 2026. Market conditions are going to be so much better. And we know that in 2026. But we want to grab it now. We know interest rates are coming down. We know the president's making some big moves. We know that the market's picking up. And we also know that if we don't strike now, that we're going to get behind the 8 ball. So we're ready to strike. Okay. Why is my...
Well, we are striking. So
yeah, we are striking. We always strike. That's what we do.
We always strike. We're going to 10X the strike.
Ooh, look out to our competitors. 10X the strike. Okay, now I see why that's doing that, because it's only giving me a 10-second window on that email address. So, Elena, do you want to close us out with anything?
Just we've done over $1 billion a year in sales volume.
For the last 3 years for sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we're not like some shoddy team. Right. Going through this, we definitely know exactly how to fast track success. We know who we can pretty much assess who we can help the most, and who, maybe it might take a little training wheels. We have a kind of a department for the training wheels type. But for those assassins out there who are ready to take it to the next level, who just need some leverage or some guidance or like some successful actions, who need a little of attention, or maybe not need attention, you just want to come in and be a vehicle and join a supportive, non-toxic environment that you can flourish and prosper in and go to the next level. Like nothing would be more spiritually beneficial to me. Those are deposits in my spiritual bank account, is to seeing others win and flourish and prosper and win. So if you think you have that potentiality, you want to be that person, I want you to be that person. I want to help you become that person, your future self, as I am becoming my own future self. So if you want to join the 10X community mindset, you're ready to make a difference for the better in your personal life, in your family's life, in your community's life. You are a little stuck, you need a little push, you're ready to move, a little guidance, then I encourage you to email Lisa, find out more, and get you signed up and joined up and ready to really take down 2026, because even though we have a lot of fun doing it, we don't play. We are going to the top. We're all about heightened levels of success. And if you think that I'm speaking to you, then I am. And I look forward to meeting you and helping and seeing you rise to the top.
And there is
an empire.
build an empire. And there is a possibility, and there's a possibility that if there was enough of you, and it's not going to be a one-on-one meeting, guys, just so you know, but if 10 of you wanted to reach out to me that watch this, or you guys have a team or whatever, and you want to come to Austin proper, that I could set up an hour meeting while Elena's in town. She's going.
I'm in town on the 3rd, the 4th, and then I leave on the 5th.
You leave early on the 5th.
Well, I leave around noon.
Yeah, but so that's your travel day. So it would be the 3rd or the 4th, or if you're a team, if you're a mortgage broker, what does that look like? Reach out, send me an email. It's very, it's not that often I get to get Elena to town. I get her to town a couple of times a year. This is one of the couple of times.
Yeah, so, February 3rd would actually be ideal.
It would be.
I would love to have that meeting. That would be spectacular. It's so fun, so awesome.
Okay, February 3rd it is. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for checking in, or thanks for listening today. If you think this would help somebody that tag them in it, share it out. You never know. I can just tell you that last thing I'll close with, I'm super proud of that top 30 that we put out of our organization. They're all still with us. So not many people leave. When they come, they stick and they stay. And so I'm super proud of that too, that we've got such a high retention rate with our agents. They're our partners. And then eventually they become family. So Elena, thank you again.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.